Okay, just 1 second, you guys. Okay, so we should be live. There might be a bit of a delay, but you guys let me know if you can hear me. Just doing a sound test here, so before I start, I haven't done a live stream in a while, so before I officially start, I do want to make sure that you guys can hear me and everything is good. So yeah, just gonna wait in on that just to make sure you guys can hear me. I haven't done a live stream for a while, so I'm a little bit, like, I don't want to say nervous, but I kind of forgot what it's like. So we've all been waiting. Thank you guys so much for waiting. Thank you. I can hear and see. Okay, awesome. Very awesome. So, as you guys probably know already, we are going to be doing a live stream mostly about reptiles, but not just reptiles. Basically, what to look for when you're getting your first reptile. And again, thank you guys so much for waiting. I haven't done a live stream for a while, and that's because I've been rather busy. I've been working on a project outside of my channel that has been kind of time consuming. It's been a lot of work on my part, so that has been taking up a lot of time. But at the most, the only thing I've been delaying you guys is live streams. I still upload twice a week. I just haven't done live streams for a while. And again, I really apologize for that. Hi MJ, here you find. How are you? And just a quick side note here, you guys, after this live stream, I want you guys to follow me over to YouNow, my YouNow live stream account. The links are always down below. My link to my YouNow is always down below, so just letting you guys know, we will be on YouNow after this live stream. And I do try to do a lot of live streams there. So yeah, basically any questions you guys have about first timing with reptiles, beginner reptiles and beginner steps on, you know, getting those first reptiles is basically going to be the subject today. Of course, we are always open to any other questions that you guys have, as for, you know, animals in general. So I really want a turtle and a Leo. Oh. You're going to feature Phoenix. Yes, just because he is so easy to show. It is coming to a point there. He is a beginner reptile. I wouldn't say the #1 beginner reptile, but he's still a beginner reptile. And he is about to shed soon. So, poor guy. I did take him out, but I just wanted to kind of show him off a little bit. I got my first leopard gecko 3 days ago. Oh, it's albino. Wow, mine look like shrimp compared to some people's. A lot of you guys ask me, is it normal for your leopard geckos to be quite small, because some people have larger leopard geckos. First of all, my leopard geckos were not bred by professional breeders. I was starting out when I first got Diagon, so of course I got him from a pet store. And he was also the runt of the entire tank, so. But leopard geckos, as you guys know, is my first choice for beginner reptiles, so very easy. Often I even forget that I have leopard geckos because they're so easy. The care really comes down to really just making sure that they have plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of calcium, plenty of heat, and ventilation, and all that good stuff. My friend got a Leo from PetSmart, and she says it's sick. She said that it had sticktail disease. Is that a thing? I've never heard of that. Could be, but I've never heard of that in Leos. I would just say that maybe her leopard gecko is underfed. Now, you don't necessarily need to have a very, very, very fat tail when it comes to leopard geckos, but you should never have a leopard gecko that has like a very, very skinny tail, because that's where they store all their fat. But yeah, I would definitely say though, feed them lots of mealworms, feed them lots of calcium dusted crickets. I also use something for emergency uses called the Reptiles grub pie. I'm not sure if I have it back there, but Reptiles grub pie is really great for emergency uses when you don't have any crickets or worms available. So I do recommend that too. It's a parasite that I believe is contagious. Oh wow, that's sad. Poor babies. Well, hopefully they pull through it. But yeah, as I've said before, over and over again, you guys know the #1 pick for beginner reptiles, in my opinion, is definitely leopard geckos. And I feel like most people would agree with that. So, I'm getting a ball python, whereas where's the best place to buy? I'm thinking an Expo. Expos are really great. Repticon is really great. That's actually where I got Phoenix. So, yeah. Stop it. Someone's making me laugh over here. Can you please talk about typical health of leopard gecko behavior, please? Do you just mean like how should they act if they're healthy? Well, a basic leopard gecko that's like really, really healthy would just be not sleeping all day. If they're sleeping day and night, there's definitely something wrong with that. If they're walking around here and there every now and then throughout the day, that's really normal. Sometimes it depends on the leopard gecko, honestly, but sometimes you'll find your leopard geckos trying to climb up the walls a little bit, even though they can't. But you'll know, it's pretty basic. I'm getting a leopard gecko in a few months. I was wondering what should I feed and how often. Very basic, all insect mix. You don't want to feed them anything else other than insect. They're straight insectivores, so crickets that are calcium dusted, mealworms, no super worms whatsoever. Those are way too big for them and very dangerous. And some people say you can do the silkworms. I've never tried silkworms, but you could definitely do it. And that's basically it. They have a very restricted diet, so, but at the same time, it's very, very, 10 is the minimum for one gecko. Very true. 10 gallons is the absolute minimum for leopard geckos. However, even though I do use 10 gallons per gecko in my household, I really recommend getting a 20 gallon if you can, or even like a, I don't know, 15 or something. But 10 gallons is the minimum, but I really would try to go bigger if you can. I mean, why not? Okay, great, my gecko is healthy. Yeah, if they're also, you want to make sure that they're pooping. You know, my leopard geckos, they poop all the time. So I know that if they're constantly pooping, then that means they're constantly digesting. So it's very, very basic. There was like I've had Diggy for, I want to say, at least 2 years now, maybe even more, but at least 2 years. And he only got sick once, and it was within 24 hours, I think. And he was just acting very slow. He just didn't act himself. Can't really explain it, but leopard geckos are pretty hardy. They're probably one of the hardiest. I would say them and cresties are definitely the hardiest reptiles in pet stores. I'm getting a fat-tailed gecko. Aww. And yeah, see, African fat-tailed geckos, they're basically like a leopard gecko. They're just kind of darker. You know, that kind of thing. Aww. Sorry about your gecko. Busbet. Sorry about that. Or Rustbet, sorry. Is a 30-gallon too big for a leopard gecko? Absolutely not. If you really wanted to, if you truly wanted to, you could even do like something crazy like a 40-gallon. I've seen people do it. It's totally fine. You just want to make sure that you don't go any lower than 10 gallons. I know this is weird, but my gecko has its first poop today, but what is the normal color? White and brown. Yeah, white and brown is pretty normal. That's right, we're talking about gecko poop. That's nice. It's a nice subject there. No, but that's pretty normal. I'm feeding ball python in a box better or terrarium. Oh, so a lot of people have this thing where when you get your first ball python, a lot of people say that you should put them in a box and separate them when it comes to feeding. However, I've never really had this problem. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do it. You could do it if you want to ensure that maybe your ball python doesn't bite you and associate your hand with food when it's in its regular enclosure. However, when it comes to Phoenix, I have never ever had to feed Phoenix outside of his enclosure. So my take on that is that you can do it if you want to, but I do not feel like it's 100% necessary, and I do feel like it kind of depends on the reptile. So it really depends on your snake. I look like Cara Delevingne. Thank you. I get that quite a lot these days. What is a good sized terrarium for a crested gecko? So I have the small Exoterra. You could get those and you can get bigger. I'm not very good with dimensions, so I don't know the dimensions, but a small Exoterra you could do. Don't get the mini ones, but a small Exoterra is really good. Yeah, like I said, you can do a box if you want, but I do not feel like it's 100% necessary. It depends on the snake. Some snakes are going to be okay just eating in their enclosure, and some aren't. As long as you don't touch, like, I would never suggest touching your snake after it eats, though. Like, right after it eats its rat, pup, mouse, whatever, it's still in the zone of feeding. So even after it's swallowed and everything, its entire food, give it like a good hour alone, because they're still going to be in the hunting zone. So if you put your hand in its enclosure after it just ate, it's definitely going to bite you, 100%. I know this from personal experience with Phoenix, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if your ball python recently just ate, and then, you know, you do something like that, then of course it's going to happen. However, I would probably say that this only applies for ball pythons. I would say that when it comes to corn snakes, because corn snakes eat a lot more than ball pythons do, and milk snakes and king snakes, all those little colubrids, I would say that you probably should put them in a box. The reason why is because, like I said, they eat a lot more. Ball pythons don't have a high success rate with eating 100% of the time, every time. I don't have that hard of a problem when it comes to Phoenix eating, but However, they don't really want to eat more than once a week. So if you have, or if you're getting, or you have a milk snake, corn snake, king snake, and you're trying to make sure that you don't get bit when it comes to feeding, I probably would suggest with them that you get a box for them to separately eat in, because again, they have a very high rate for eating a lot. If you wanted to, you could probably feed a corn snake 3 times a week, because they're always hungry. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying that's how hungry they actually get. So, are you planning on getting a scorpion? No, I'm actually a bit terrified of scorpions. I don't know why. It's weird because I want to have a scorpion. I really truly do. I just have a fear of them a bit. I know you guys probably never thought that you would hear me say I'm afraid of something as far as animals go, but I am a bit scared of scorpions. I think it's because not only do they have the stinger, but they also have, like, you know, like the little snappers. What are they called? I don't know. But I don't know. I'm terrified of them. I do want to get over my fear, though, because here's the thing. Even if you're afraid of an animal, it doesn't mean you will never be able to own that animal. And the reason why is because I was afraid of tarantulas before I got them. But at the same time, I found them fascinating. So when I got my first tarantula, I was afraid of her. And then I made myself eventually handle her. And then I just kind of got over it because I really liked the animal overall. But I'm not getting a scorpion anytime soon. Again, I'm terrified of them, but I would like to try, you know? What is the best beginner turtle? Most turtles are not beginner turtles. I don't recommend basically any turtle for a beginner, and I'm not saying they're not a great pet, but they are definitely advanced. A lot of people can't handle the fact that even the medium-sized turtles like sliders and such, a lot of people can't handle the fact that they're going to need a 40-gallon when they get older, and you're going to have to handle the water changes. They are going to need frequent water changes because turtles produce a lot of waste, and I mean a lot. They eat like crazy. They're very messy, very dirty. Again, this doesn't make them a bad pet, but it does not make them a beginner pet. So when it comes to turtles, I do not recommend them to beginners. Often when I used to work at the pet stores, as bad as this may sound, I would try to get those people who are interested in turtles interested in another reptile, because, you know, I don't think that it's a good beginner reptile unless you put in the research, the money, and the time and everything like that. If you could put your all into taking care of turtles, then it might be a success. And you also don't want to get baby turtles. A lot of people cannot take care of baby turtles. They're extremely hard to take care of. So, I mean, it's not impossible, but not a beginner reptile. Hi, I have a blue, ow, Phoenix, cramping my hand up, man, cramping my hand up. I have a blue-tongued skink, and I was keeping her in a 40-gallon, but how active she is, I put her in a 1.5 meter tank. Is that normal for a blue-tongued skink to be active? Yes, blue-tongued skinks are extremely active. They're really, really active, interactive actually, reptiles. So they typically can actually somewhat bond with their owners. For a reptile, I would consider the fact that they bond. But they're always active. They're not nocturnal from what I see. They're always up. They're always up at night, at daytime I mean. So they're very active. Do you have any hamster tips? No, I don't. Well, I have hamster tips, but I don't have any hamsters right now. And I probably would cover that in like a hamster video or small animal live stream of some sort. But yeah, I've talked about hamsters quite a good amount on this channel, so let me see if I can find some things around here. Comments. I'm about to get a leopard gecko, and my house stays at 72 Fahrenheit. Woo. Should I put more heat into the tank? No, I think you're good. I mean, if you really wanted to, you can probably put like a heat light in there, and then you can put the heat mat. I don't think 72 would do too much damage though. Sometimes every now and then some little areas in my house will get to about 70, so I don't think it would be too bad. Yeah, pinchers is what I meant for the scorpions. I'm terrified of like crab-like things too. Like anything that has pinchers, I don't know what it is about that, but that creeps me out. I mean, it's weird. Like I remember, I think this is why I'm not a fan of hermit crabs. I got pinched by a hermit crab one time. It was luckily just on my nail, and whew, it creeped me out. I don't know what it is. They're very beautiful though. What does it mean if leopard geckos hiss at you? It means that they're not feeling too good. Usually babies will do that more often than adults, but even so, I mean, they're not feeling too good. Let me see. In your how-to video on leopard geckos, I asked if sand was okay, but it's not now. Is it dirt? Is that okay? Yeah, sand is not okay, and I still would not recommend a dirt substrate. A dirt substrate might be mildly a little bit better, but I would still stick to a solid substrate. So paper towel, newspaper, Repti carpet, all those solid substrates where they can't ingest anything, swallow anything, so they can't get impacted. All those are really good. And I do want to apologize in advance to you guys. I know that I haven't been talking to you guys as much as I should. I'm trying my best to talk to you guys. Usually I'm more communicative with you guys, and I've been so busy lately, and I feel terrible about that, but I hope you guys can forgive me. I'm going to try to do more live streams again, and yeah, hopefully we can get through it. Can I put a baby crested in a 10-gallon tank? Absolutely. That would be totally fine. Absolutely fine. Just make sure that if you're using a typical 10-gallon, flip it over so that it's vertical and tall, because they're going to need that vertical space, not so much ground space. 10-gallon would be good for a fat-tailed gecko, right? Absolutely. Absolutely, positively, yes. Right, Phoenix? Yeah? See if I can get some water. What? You got a hair on here. When this thing starts. Oh, I think you might have to reload by now. I thought some of you guys might have reloaded. What cage do you recommend for first-time gecko owners? 10-gallon, like I said before. Is it natural for me to be curious? What do you think? Wait, what? Natural to be curious. How old do you think I am, Jay? I'm Pitbull Lover on you now. Oh, yeah, I know you. You're probably like 13. I think so. My gecko hasn't pooped in a week. Any tips? Also, can I go to the vet? If you wanted to go to the vet, you could, but if it's just been a week that it hasn't pooped, I wouldn't really take him to the vet just yet. So what you could do is you can take a container, a good sized container that's at least like this big, and try to put some warm water in there, and you're gonna have to get your leopard gecko to be in there. And leopard geckos, if you guys know leopard geckos, they absolutely hate, like they 100% hate water. So, if you do that, it's gonna be kind of crazy. Okay, so, but yeah, it's going to be crazy if you try to put them in warm water, but you're going to have to do it, because if they're somehow impacted, then that's a problem. Also, be sure that you're not using a substrate that is going to impact them. So make sure you're not using any kind of sand or anything like that in in there. Is 90 degrees Fahrenheit with a speed heater for a Leo on the heat side. 1 second. Is 90 degrees Fahrenheit degrees for heater for Leo? Okay, you could probably be okay with that, but 90 degrees, like, you know, no more than that, because that would be pretty hot. Also, I forgot to mention that when your leopard gecko is impacted, you can also take a moist, like, paper towel that's really warm water, and rub it on the gecko's tummy. So you can do that too. I think someone in the stream mentioned here that you really have to rub their tummy, which is true. So I know it's a reptile video, but I need to take my pet rats to the vet. First, thank you if you answer and love your vids. Do I need to take my rats to the vet when I first get them? No, you don't have to. If you want to, you can absolutely do that. That's a great precaution there. But it's not 100% needed. But you could. I would do it if, you know, if I had the money to spend, I would take every single pet to the vet that I get. So, and that was a lot of rhyming. There's a lot of rhyming going on there. Yeah. Yeah. And, just a side note here, thank you guys so much for subscribing to me. I can't believe that you guys have been helping my channel grow the way it has, so. Is it bad that I don't spot clean my Cresties enclosure? It's not bad. You don't have to necessarily. You should, but I mean, you don't. It's not 100% needed. Because I would be a hypocrite if I told you to, when I definitely don't spot clean. Cresties are very, very, very messy. I forgot to mention that. Crested geckos are excellent beginner reptiles, and they are also very, extremely messy. So, 1 second. Do you think that a full-grown ball python is able to chew? No, it's not. It's definitely not. A ball python can't kill anything bigger than a large rat. Let me see if I can get through some of you guys' comments, because I feel like I might have didn't see some, so let me see. Is a blue-tongued skink a good beginner lizard, and what is the cure for them? Blue-tongued skinks on average are actually a really good lizard for first-timers. It's just that I don't recommend them right off the bat because they need such a large enclosure. They need something bigger than a 40-gallon tank. Like, I would probably do like a 70-something, you know, a 70-gallon tank or something like that. So, some people are not really able to handle that because they are big lizards. Overall, though, their temperaments, in my opinion, are actually better than bearded dragons. A lot of people are going to hate on me for saying that because everyone loves bearded dragons, as do I, but I typically think that blue-tongued skinks have better temperaments. I have interacted with lots of blue-tongued skinks, some little and some bigger, and you know, you guys know I worked at the exotic pet shop that I used to work at, and I would handle, on the regular basis, I would handle all kinds of crazy animals, like, you know, they had like monitor lizards there, and blue-tongued skinks, bearded dragons, geckos, all kinds of different snakes, like you name it. But I would definitely say that my favorites were Uromastyx and blue-tongued skinks. Now, Uromastyx are, you guys probably don't know this, but my favorite My favorite reptile is actually something called a Eurymastix lizard. I don't own that because you need a lot of space for them. You need a 40-gallon tank or bigger, and I don't have that right now. Some of you guys already know that I want a Eurymastix lizard so bad. Like, I'm dying for it right now. But they're super cute and sweet, but definitely not beginners. You can do a 20-gallon tank, Lucky Dog. You can do a 20-gallon tank for a leopard gecko, 100%. I have a goldfish that has been eating rock, oh no, from its tank, and yet I've been feeding him like every day. What do you recommend? First of all, Russ, I would recommend getting any rock type substrate you have out of the tank. Go bare bottom tank, it's just easy, but you definitely never want to have a substrate that your goldfish is trying to chew on or anything like that, because they can actually swallow a lot of these pebbles and stuff like that and die. So you don't want that. But yeah, I don't think it's a feeding issue. Most goldfish will nip at the ground and nip at everything around them just due to boredom and their curiosity. So you don't want to have any kind of substrate in there that they can swallow for sure. I was wondering if you used Eco Earth and if it's good. Yeah, I use the block Eco Earth. It's pretty good. Oh, you know what? 1 second. I've known you for several months now. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I know you're always everything animals / pit bull lover. You're like at every You Now stream I make, so you earned it. If I get one, I need to bring it to college, and they have to be 6 inches or less. The leopard gecko? Yeah, I mean, you could do a 20-gallon or you could do a 10-gal. Just nothing smaller than a 10-gal. Are you sure the fish isn't making a burrow like... Huh. Cichlids. Aw. I got a hair in my mouth. I like cichlids. They're absolutely beautiful, though. I discussed the tank size for cresties. Basically, you want to get the smaller version of the Exoterra, at least. My species of blue-tongued skink is very aggressive. She would bite me and hiss me, but I still love her. Aww. Well, most of the ones I have interacted with are super sweet. Hi, Tillybugs. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. One second, you guys. Let me see if I can get you guys the links for the Cresty cage. I'm gonna get the Exoterra. In the meantime, just talk amongst yourselves. Let me see. Okay, this should be the link for the Exoterra that I would recommend for a crested gecko. Okay. I'm probably too irresponsible to be a mod. I won't do that again. Oh, you're good. Guys, there's someone above that wanted to be moderator. Well, you guys, I don't moderate just everyone. Okay, let me see if I can get through some of you guys' comments. But yeah, basically, yeah, my experiences with blue-tongued skinks have been great. I guess maybe you could always find the rare occasion where you could find an aggressive one, but that goes for any animal. You know, just like bearded dragons, which are like the most docile ever, you're still, at some point, you could be the unlucky person to get an aggressive one. So, you know, you never know. What size tank should I get for my baby ball pythons? When it comes to tank size for ball pythons, I usually like to recommend for babies, I would do it like a 20 gallon. And then you want to upgrade to like a 40 gallon if you can for females. And for males, you can still stay up to like a 30 gallon tank. Blue-tongued skinks are beautiful. I love those, but I would probably get the lighter ones. I'm not too fond of the darker ones. You guys, my hand is just like totally cramped up now. Look at this. Phoenix is just like, I don't give a crap about how you feel right now. He is gonna go into shed soon, so sorry I keep asking about leopard geckos. No problem. That's actually a great subject for today because honestly, leopard geckos are definitely like the best beginner pet ever. I actually recommend leopard geckos not only for a beginner reptile, but I recommend them for a beginner pet, like in general, because they're just so easy. And then next to them, I usually like to recommend the crested geckos because crested geckos are still very easy. It's just that they're jumpy. They're very, very jumpy, so that's why I don't recommend them right off the bat. Ball pythons do use heat mats, yes. Hi, how are you, Pet Kingdom? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen some of you guys in a while because I haven't been around. I'm so sorry. How's Lucky? Oh, Lucky is doing wonderful. I'm going to do a full updated in detail video all about Lucky soon. Probably, like, who knows, but, you know, very, very soon because I have great news on him. He is definitely cancer free and that's amazing. But I want to do like a full updated video on him, so yeah. Oh, I was just wondering, did you guys see the video that Snazzy Nikki made? She might be coming back to YouTube. We'll see. You know, I mean, she said she was only going to be gone for a short time, and then she was gone for like 3 years, so who knows. But she did make a video again, which is kind of cool. So if you guys don't know who Snazzy Nikki is, she's like a very old pet channel that I learned a lot about reptiles from. So my cousin's rat chews on his tail. Any tips? Like, how does he chew on it? Does he just nibble on it for cleaning, or does he actually chew on it? Because if he actually chews on it and, you know, like, has put harm on his tail, then I would probably try to figure that out. Probably take him to the vet, because that's not normal. I would also check for mites. That could be a mite issue. So I'm going to shadow a veterinarian soon. I'm so excited. Wow, that's so cool. I want a ball python, but my mom hates snakes. I feel ya. That's how most people are. I saw the video, I thought Snazzy Nikki was dead. I was so scared. Yeah, some people made the, like, assumption that, like, her snakes ate her or something. I'm like, that's so funny. Prove to your mom that she doesn't have to take care of it. At some point, she doesn't, but still, your parents should always be prepared to, like, take them to the vet and things like that. Okay, so my mom thinks gravel for leopard geckos is okay, but is it? It is not. You do not want to have any kind of loose substrate in their enclosure. Thank you, Solid Pythons. You're awesome too. You're so cute. So what is another beginner reptile that I haven't talked about? Oh, bearded dragons. Why don't we talk about bearded dragons, huh? Want to talk about bearded dragons? I think you do. Bearded dragons down south. So bearded dragons are great beginner pets, and the only reason why I don't recommend them off the bat is because, odd enough, even though they're really easy and their care is really simple, I find a lot of people have put a lot of neglect on bearded dragons, unfortunately. However, they are a wonderful, wonderful beginner reptile because all you need to do is regulate their heat and their UV, give them a really large cage. Minimum for a bearded dragon is a 40-gallon tank. That is why I do not own one. We only have two 40-gallon tanks in this entire house, and they're being taken up by beautiful goldfish back there. So, but still, bearded dragons are wonderful, wonderful, great lizards, and I will assure that I will get them someday, just not anytime soon. Now, the thing that I feel people don't do is, again, they're not keeping up with the calcium. A lot of people do not keep up with calcium. Our green and brown anoles beginner animals. I would say that anoles are not beginner reptiles, not because their actual requirements are hard. Their requirements are easy. All they need is a good source of heat and UV rays. Heat on all the time, UV rays a good few hours during the day. You want to do at least, like, I would say, good 9 to 10 hours maybe. But anyways, it's not that I think anoles are hard to take care of. It's the fact that anoles are skittish. Anoles, small anoles and Cuban night anoles are extremely skittish. So that you really cannot handle them. Even the smaller ones, it's so easy to lose them because of how fast they are. So I would definitely not recommend anoles as a first timing pet. They're not easy to handle, and they will bite you. Whether it's a small anole or a big anole, they will bite you if they feel like they need to. So you guys know I have Ig. You can probably see Igor a little bit. Igor's right here. He just got his cage cleaned today. So you guys will actually get to see, if you guys want to see more close-ups of my pets after this live stream, make sure you go to younow.com. Go to my YouNow account after this stream because you're going to see some close-ups of all my pets live. So anyways, Igor's back there. And he is not a beginner pet, okay? There are things that I have to go through with this lizard that is just so annoying. First of all, I put my hand in the tank, he runs for the hills. I try to get him out of his tank for cleaning, which I had to do today. He wants to bite my hand off. He almost escaped his little container today, and I barely got him and had to get him straight into his cage right away because, again, he's very skittish. His bite, if he bites me, will hurt extremely bad, and it will probably leave a mark and hurt for more than a month. So no, not a beginner pet. Not fun to handle, but very fun to observe and look at. I'm actually more attached to Igor than any reptile, which is just odd, but for some reason I am. But yeah. Anyways, going back to bearded dragons, you will not have to handle any of that when it comes to bearded dragons. You can handle them pretty much every day if you really wanted to. I recommend only handling about 3 or 4 times a week. You can feed them veggies, and then you can feed them little fruits and stuff like that, and then you can feed them insects. That's always fun, that you can feed them a little bit of everything. So They're omnivores. They're eating. What's also great about bearded dragons is they are literally the pigs of reptile world. Yes, they are. I swear, bearded dragons are the most piggy-ish reptile I've ever encountered. I had worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bearded dragons on the regular, big and small, at the exotic pet shop that I worked at. I will definitely say they ate more than any reptile I have ever encountered. So, yeah. Will you ever have merchandise anytime soon? I do have merchandise. Let me get the links for you. It is on petadventureshop.com and Spreadshirts. We have awesome shirts on both of those, so let me get you the link real quick. Just 1 second, you guys. I'm going to get the link to my shops. Okay, so here is my merchandise site for Spreadshirt. Just 1 second. One second, you guys. I'm going to go right back to everyone's comments and try to get through them. So, don't worry. If you feel like you're not getting your comments answered, I'm going to answer them. I'm just going to get some links here. Okay, so there you go. There's the links to my website merch, and then I also have Spreadshirt merch. So we have all kinds of cool designs, so have fun with that, Russ Bet. So, yeah. MJ said earlier it's very good. Okay, so let me try to go back on some of you guys' comments. Sorry if I feel like I didn't get to answer some, so let's see. Woof, lots of stuff. Are you ever going to get a green tree python? They are amazing. I like green tree pythons, but I have heard lots of stories about them being very aggressive. However, I would really like to tame them, get to tame them and try them out. But they're not known to be super sweet all the time. Corn snakes, no. Oh, corn snakes are also a really great first time snake. My friend has 3 bearded dragons and she carries them around on her shoulders. This is getting hot. Just 1 second, you guys. Oh no, can you put this over there? Can you put this on there? Just 1 second. Woo. There we go. That'll do it. I'll get that later. Okay, sorry you guys. My computer's getting really hot, so don't want it to go off. Okay, so some people say they're aggressive, but I find them more defensive. Defensive, that's actually true. That's actually very true. They're more defensive. They're very scared of everything. That snake is so pretty. Thank you. Say thank you, Phoenix. Thank you. I really want a snake, but I'm not allowed. Oh. Okay. Okay, I had a bearded dragon. His poop was huge, bigger than him. Yeah, because they eat way too much. Some people say that they are aggressive. I read that one. Do leopard geckos need heating? I'm in Florida, so I don't have winter. Well, I live in Florida right now, and I still have a heat mat for my leopard geckos. However, it's not as bad if you live in Florida, so you really can just get a heat mat all year, no matter what, and it'll be fine. But if you live in colder climates, what I like to recommend is getting a heat mat on one side, and then on that same side, I would get a heat light. So you would get a low wattage heat light on the top, and then on that same side of the tank, I would have a heat mat underneath the tank. So that's how I would go about it if you live in really cold climates. Overall though, if you live in like a neutral climate place, you just need a heat mat for a leopard gecko. Heat lights, just using heat lights alone for leopard geckos is not, it's not the right way to go about it, because I used heat lights for my leopard geckos when I first got them. Well, actually just Diagon. And he was cold, and I also felt like the heat light was just a pain. I felt like he wanted to get belly heat and not really like basking type heat. So that ended up working out just fine. And breeders, actually people who breed ball pythons and leopard geckos, do only use heat mats for their leopard geckos and ball pythons when they're breeding them. So yeah, a lot of people will tell you that you need a heat light for ball pythons, and that's absolutely false. If that were true, then all the people who breed ball pythons would not be using heat mats all the time. What reptiles can go in a 10 and a 20? So you have emerald swifts, leopard geckos. Crested geckos can be in a 10 to 20 gal, but like in a vertical sense, you know, just flip it the other way around. African fat-tailed geckos are really good. You can do like super giants of leopard geckos, those are really good. You can do frog setups, a lot of like tree frogs and stuff like that. Pac-Man frogs you can do. Something that I actually recently found out about was like, you can also get the jumping spider. Jumping spiders are really, really cute. I'm actually maybe looking into getting one, who knows. You can also get a praying mantis. Praying mantises, they live in small enclosures as well. So there's a good few things you can do for 20 gallons. And in 20 gal, for quite a while, you could probably keep a corn snake in that, but I'm not sure you could do that forever. You'd eventually have to get like a 30 gallon. So, but yeah. My sister has a bearded dragon, and his name is Fluffy. I love Fluffy. Oh. I'm really glad you're asking so much questions. Will you ever... No, I read that. My friend got a curly-tailed lizard. They are good first pets. Curly-tailed lizards, I wouldn't recommend them first off the bat because they're super duper crazy fast and they're very skittish around people. Other than that though, care requirements aren't crazy. You just need, again, UV and heat. So at the bottom of a leopard gecko tank, I found a channel dedicated to them, so they say that Eco Earth is fine. It's the only substrate that is fine. No, Eco Earth is not the only substrate that is okay for leopard geckos. Absolutely not. Again, this is something that breeders do, but paper towel, newspaper, and Repti carpet are definitely fine for leopard geckos. And Eco Earth, I'm not going to tell you 100% that Eco Earth is bad or good because I've never used Eco Earth. In my opinion, when it comes to leopard geckos, since they're always on the ground, if they do ingest dirt, I don't know if that's going to affect them or not. So I've never used Eco Earth, but you definitely don't want to use any kind of pebble, pelleted type substrates that they can swallow, ingest, that kind of thing. So yeah. How is the Amazon prices for aquariums? Oh, I'm not too sure about that. Do you have any tips on owning green tree pythons? They're really great pythons. It's just that, again, they're very scared and skittish, and some don't like being held. So they're not as good for handling sometimes. They're not going to be like a ball python where they kind of just curl up on you like this. They're a lot more active, you know. They do get quite large. I think it's like 5 feet maybe at least. So I'm not too big on their care. I don't know too much about them, but I do know that they're definitely not beginner snakes. I would say that you can add them to a collection. If you've had like a few milk snakes, corn snakes, king snakes, ball pythons, things like that, children's pythons. I can't believe you guys don't know what children's python is, but it's a small python and it's super cute. Those are great, by the way, for people who are low on space. They are pretty defensive and will do nasty bite, and their husbandry is upkeep. Besides, they are pretty good pets. Yeah, so very scared, don't like people all the time, but they can be tamed. I have seen them be very tamed. So okay, how old is your snake and what does he eat? Right now he is on large rat pups. He might be upgrading pretty soon, so we'll see. When I tried small rat, the small rat is so much bigger than his stomach, so I really can't do anything other than that, but definitely large rat pups is what we're still on right now. I don't want to get him anything bigger. But yeah, it seems to be doing pretty well for him, so. And Phoenix, I would say, is probably at least 2 years old now. Or maybe is he 2 years old? Let me think. I got him at Repticon when I was... Yeah, he's definitely 2 years. Are you a Jake Pauler? I've heard of someone named Jake Paul. I hear this name all the time, but I have no clue who that person is, so... What is the average price for leopard geckos, and where do you recommend? I think the average price is like, I want to say 30 bucks. I think. Are Charlie, Oscar, and Lucky in the room during feeding time for him? Yes, they are. It's not weird at all for me because I'm very used to it, but they are in the room, Tillybugs. They are. I don't think anyone thinks anything of it because we're all so used to it. Phoenix is used to it. I'm used to it. Charlie and Oscar, they're all in their own world. And by the way, you guys, I know you guys probably are wondering what's going on with the weight issue with Oscar. I managed to get his weight up a little bit, so maybe I'll show you guys that. Again, if you guys want to see special features at the end of this stream, we're going to go straight on to you now so you guys can see all my little pets in action. So, yeah. Do snakes become attached to you like Bond? I've had a snake. The only way you could tell if a reptile is attached to you is if it acts different with other people. So, let me get a sip right here right now. Anyway, the only way you're going to know if a reptile has kind of, I don't want to say bonded with you, but kind of gotten used to you, is if they act different when other people come around. So, for instance, if Phoenix acts like this with me, all curious and normal, and then he acts very skittish and a little bit hesitant around the next person I hand him to, then we know that Phoenix only trusts me. Okay? So yeah, we have that in our favor. And 59 minutes. So once it's been an hour, you guys, we're gonna head on over to you now. Yeah. So we'll end the stream. I want to say 7:50 is good. So 1 second. I'm not gonna get a goat. Never. I'm probably never gonna get a goat for sure. They're cute, but very annoying. Pygmy goats and all that stuff is. Oh, you guys should see this. 1 second. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. This is cute. You guys are gonna love this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get Phoenix to come back up. You see him? Look, 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 look. Hold on. He'll come up. He'll come up. He was coming up a second ago. I don't know. It was cute though. Phoenix. I guess he's not gonna do it. But before he was like coming up to me, that was so cute. Okay. Fix my angle a little bit. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Are you gonna make a YouTube account and a website so that you can see how he is housed? And I promise I will. Wait, okay. And I'm gonna make a YouTube account and a website so that you can see how he is housed, and I promise they will be in great conditions. Oh. If anyone wants to sub, yeah, I'll sub to you. Just 1 second. There we go. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Okay. What do you feed your leopard geckos? I feed my leopard geckos all insects, so we did discuss that previously in the live stream. So if you want to see some more about leopard geckos, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. So yeah, no problem, solid pythons. So what else can we talk about? Oh yeah, corn snakes. We haven't talked too much about corn snakes. So corn snakes are different in some ways than king snakes. So corn snakes have a high feeding response, but I feel like king snakes are worse about it. So hold on, you guys. Let me just kind of fix this just a little bit. Okay. So, corn snakes and king snakes, there is a small difference between them. What I would say is when you get a king snake, a very average king snake is going to be prone to biting you. And this is not aggressiveness, okay? Believe me, it's not. King snakes typically have a high response for feeding, so they will bite you more often than not. So all I'm saying is, when you get a king snake, expect them to bite you a lot. And it's not that they're aggressive, defensive, anything. It's just that they eat quite a lot. So corn snakes are a bit like that, but not as bad. So they do have a high feeding response, but I would say that they're a little bit better about it. So right, Phoenix? What do you have on your little face? Huh? What is that, huh? Let me see your little face. What? He's definitely going to go into shed soon, so. I recommend guinea pigs as pets. Guinea pigs are great pets. They definitely are. I don't want to go to high school in September. You don't want to? I was so excited when it was time for me to go to high school. Literally, that was like my best year ever. Can you please make more leopard gecko videos? By the way, I love you so much. I definitely have been making more leopard gecko videos for you guys. So if you don't notice that already, I'm definitely doing it. What I also need to keep up with is ball python and crested gecko videos. Now, I feel like I don't make those enough. So we're going to try to get on more of that, because I've definitely been making more leopard gecko videos these past few weeks. So probably one of the youngest viewers. I hate saying my age since people never take me seriously and they doubt my reputability, source information. There you go. You're using big words though. That makes you more smarter. I know a lot of you guys are younger viewers though, so can you do a video on having a YouTube channel, or maybe just your recording equipment? I would love to. I would definitely love to do a little bit about a little video, small video about my equipment and some of the tips and tricks I'm using here on YouTube. You know, typical audience growing type skills. But yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah. What is it, baby? Hi. Hi. You want to say hi? I'm not in high school. That's what I'll say. Yeah, I loved going to school, high school. So 11, that's not that bad. I know some of you guys are like 9. I know a lot because I research as if I'm getting an animal, even though I will never be able to get them. Yeah, see, that's actually how I learned. Well, that's half of how I learned. Half of how I learned everything I know about animals is I don't find myself doing it anymore because I feel like I've researched about so many animals that I don't know. But, yeah, for the most part, I've learned about animals just through lots of research. And then the other half is I have had lots of experience with all kinds of different exotic and not as exotic animals from the pet stores that I have worked at. So, have you ever taken Phoenix out in public stores? Yes, I have. I've taken him to Petco, PetSmart, a couple other little stores here and there. Usually when people see him, they don't freak out. But I think that's because he was a little bit younger when I took him out. They might freak out a little bit more because he's bigger, but usually people think he's pretty cool. I don't find a lot of people getting too scared about him. There's so many 11-year-olds in the world. Does anyone know what Vizsla is? Because I have one and I love her. What a Vizsla is. I do not know what that is at all. Am I planning on breeding any pets? Not at the moment. I did in the past breed a couple of beautiful mollies, but I haven't done that for a while, so. Oh yeah, I was talking about corn snakes easier. Hey, did you guys see that? Did you guys see the little yawn that he just did? That was really cute. Yeah? That was really cute. He's got something here. Let me see if I can get a tweezer and get it out. He's got like something here. There we go. I got that, whatever that was. I think that was just like a piece of shed. So, let me see if I can get the other one off. Oh, I got that one off too. Perfect. You're all good now. I have no idea what those things are. You guys should tell me, because I do not know. Oh, it's a breed of dog. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Is he okay? Yeah, he had a piece of, like, shed right here. So I wanted to get that off for him. It's, like, very loose. He's good now. Yeah, he's good. Do leopard geckos bite? They do, and guess what? It's the funniest thing ever. I've been bitten a number of times by Dagon through, like, little feeding issues and stuff like that, and it was hilarious. It doesn't hurt or anything, but it's just so funny. Anything has the chance of biting. That's very true. You guys, oh my goodness. Lucky dog, my profile pic is of Visla. Oh, okay, I see. That's cute. So, I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about. So, what else is a beginner reptile? You guys put some suggestions in the comments. What is a beginner, something you think that is a beginner reptile that I haven't talked about yet? Because I'm out of ideas now. I did bearded dragons, ball pythons, anoles, leopard geckos, crested geckos. Is there anything else? Blue-tongued skinks. I really want a millipede, but my mom doesn't like them. Oh, well, millipedes are sweet. Just don't get a centipede. But millipedes are easy to take care of. Oh, frogs, that's true. Okay, so the best frog I would probably recommend for beginners is a Pac-Man frog. I like Pac-Man frogs. Very, very sweet. But I would say the green tree frogs are even sweeter. The only problem is green tree frogs are very hard to kind of handle. So, and the only reason why I don't recommend frogs right away, Isabella, I did talk about corn snakes already, so, and milk snakes. But, so, I like Pac-Man frogs for beginner frogs, definitely. Green tree frogs and poison dart frogs are really great. The only bad thing about them is, like, they're hard to get a hold of. Like, I mean, like, quite literally, they're hard to handle because they're so jumpy, and, you know, that's really hard. But, oh, fire belly toads. Those are really great, too. Very good. I don't recommend fire belly toads right off the bat, though, because people, again, cannot handle the fact that you have to change their water a lot and stuff like that. You have to keep up with the parameters and things like that, so hedgehogs are awesome. Sorry, off topic. Hedgehogs are awesome. They can be easy, but at the same time, I don't recommend them right away as first pets, just because people often don't know how to handle the fact that they get very, very prissy during the day, and they don't like handling during the day, and they have spikes, so some people get a little weird about that, but overall, very easy pet. But if you're going to get your first amphibian, 100% the Pac-Man frogs. I like them a lot. The only thing you guys do have to worry about with Pac-Man frogs is they can bite you kind of good because their huge mouth is always on the lookout for food, so be careful for that. I had a tortoise once. Tortoises are great. They're actually very good pets. They're kind of in the intermediate stage. I wouldn't recommend them beginner, but they're not super advanced. So if you get like a Russian tortoise, for example, and you build a really nice wooden enclosure for them or some sort, they're not bad. I like them. Say hi. Oh, parrot cichlids. Parrot cichlids are so personable. Like, oh my goodness. They're so personable with their owners. It's so cute. Okay, you guys, let me put Phoenix up real quick. I'm going to put him up. Again, we're going to be on you now soon, so. Just 1 second, you guys. Ow! I'm okay. I didn't just hurt my foot. That's not creepy at all. Okay. And let's see, where are we? Easiest to raise pet is a guinea pig. they're pretty easy. They're pretty simple overall. So yeah, someone pointed out tortoises. Tortoises are they're intermediate. But yeah, overall, they're not too bad. I have too many pets. Sugar gliders, oh my gosh. You guys know I love sugar gliders. I would do anything to get a sugar glider and get the space for it, but first of all, shuggies are time consuming. They're not easy at all. And you know how it is. So it's 48. We're gonna end at 7:50, you guys. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Let me know now. So let me give you guys the link to my YouNow real quick. Not YouTube, YouNow. I'm still on. Okay, you guys, this is my YouNow account because I'm going to see you guys over there soon. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys over there in just a few minutes or so. Do ball pythons like to climb on things? Yeah, I would say that even though they're technically kind of the type of snake that's all about floor space, I would say still that they do need something to cling on to. So if you can, I would definitely recommend it. Salamanders and newts, they are not beginner reptiles. But they are great. They're very great, but they're not beginner. Oh, YouNow doesn't work. Oh, I want a baby crocodile. No. Poor babies. Rat kisses are the best. I know, because they have like little tongues. It's super cute. I'm glad that you guys mentioned some reptiles that I actually wouldn't have thought of. So, let me get my charger here. Ugh. I have a crested gecko, a leopard gecko, 2 mini fish, and a hedgie and hamster, and mice, a budgie, and a ball python, Kenyan samboa, and garden snake. Oh, garter snake, and more. Wow, that's awesome, Isabella. That's really cute. Are you the same? Wait, you're not the same Isabella that comes on my live streams, are you? I thought her name was Isabella C, not G. I don't know. Where do you buy your rats for your snake? Local places. It varies. Local places. Right now, I'm getting them from a certain pet store, but like, it really varies. I don't have like a set place that I get my my food for my snake. So I would not use a critter trail for mice. I would get something much bigger. You can either do I think it's called Alaska cage. Those are really big cages that are built for hamsters, but you can also use them for mice. And you can use a really good tank, like a large tank, like 20-gallon or bigger. Alright, you guys, so we are going to end this stream. Just give me 1 second. Alright, so we're going to end this stream here, you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. Again, I'm sorry I haven't been streaming that much. I need to get on top of it. I am just, again, working on a project for somebody that's been very time consuming, and it keeps me busy, and I'm trying to do that and juggle my channel at the same time. So sorry about that again, but I really appreciate you guys coming on board here. Next live stream is going to be most likely Sunday. I'll let you guys know if anything comes up. But I really try to set my streaming schedule at least to every Sunday. Again, I haven't been able to do that because I've been busy. But if you guys want to see more streaming, you have to go to YouNow. So my YouNow account, I put the link over on the chat. It's also in the description. It's always in the description down below. So thank you guys so much for coming. I love you guys, Adventures Crew. Please give this live stream a big thumbs up, especially if you love pets and reptiles. And I will see you guys next time.